usual, I'm gonna start with showing you what the table looks like at the beginning. A lot of wear and tear. It's missing the glass, and that is the only problem, or the main problem, I would say. Everything else is just normal wear and tear. It obviously needs to be sanded and repainted, and that's what we're going to do. I'm gonna wheel it outside on a dolly. I had to take the drawers out just because it was so heavy. It is almost 3 feet by 3 feet, so it's heavy and all wood. Next, I'm going to remove the hardware and sand it so that I can give it a good cleaning after that and have it ready for priming. Here, each side of the table has 6 handles, and one of the drawer has 4 handles, but it doesn't need them. They're decorative to make it symmetrical, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and patch the holes so that I can put my own hardware to this, because the hardware definitely needs to be updated. And I'm using Bondo, which is mainly used as a car patching filler. They have a wood version, but this is what I have in hand, and I love it. It's a 2-part system. You mix it, and then you have to work really quick because it dries and it hardens really fast. So once I mixed it, I need to fill in the holes, and one thing that I like to do is make sure I have a little toothpick on hand so I can push it in all the way. There's also tape on the other side so it doesn't fall through, but the toothpick helps me fill it in all the way so that I ensure that it's completely solid. Once it's dry, we can go ahead and sand it smooth so that it is completely level and it's ready for the next step, and then we can move on to the next part of this project. Okay, with the drawers taken care of, I'm going to move on to figure out how to do the tabletop. And what I figure out is that I'm going to put some supports underneath it. I'm going to screw them or nail them underneath, and then I'm going to put a 1/4-inch solid plywood on top that then I'm going to sand and smooth out. Hopefully that makes sense. So I am ripping my plywood to length. This is 3/4-inch plywood, and then once I have it all cut, I'm going to move to my miter saw and cut them to length. I am definitely very slow with this process because I am terrified of power tools, as you should be. That keeps you humble and careful. This is how they are going to fit in. Next, I have to do some pocket holes so that I can screw to the side of the table, and I'm going to use my Craig jig for that, as per usual. They usually sell sheets of plywood that are already cut back 2x2, but mine was almost 3 feet, so I needed a full length of plywood, a full sheet, which is 4x8, and I needed help to cut it because it is huge and it can be a dangerous job. So Corey got home from work and sucker! I got him to help me. Now that I have my top cut off, it's time to put it on this thing, and I attach my supports evenly spaced, and then I'm going to put some glue on everything that would make contact with the top because I want it to be really secure, and I'm also going to nail it. So again, this shouldn't be going anywhere. It should just have full support and be structurally sound, or at least that's the hope. Corey did a great job at cutting this perfectly to size, so that's amazing. And now I'm going to nail it. If you don't have a nail gun, I would suggest that you just put some weight on top of it so that it lays flat while it dries. Glue is really strong, so no need to panic. I just have a nail gun. nail holes, I'm going to use Durham's Rock Hard Water Putty. This is a water-soluble putty and it hardens a lot, really hard as the name suggests. As you can see, I also have a big tub of this because I love it. It's easier to sand off than Bondo is, and it also dries really quickly, so I love using it. I feel like Bondo is more heavy duty though, but whenever I get a chance to use this product, I prefer to use it because again, it's easier to sand. To sand it off, I'm gonna use my corner sander because I need to get into the corners of this coffee table. I'm gonna go with 220 so that everything is really smooth and I can move on to the fun part, which is painting. Yes, finally. I'm gonna use the color Isle Avenue from Wise Owl Paints. It is a creamy off-white. It looks kind of white on this picture, but it is more of a creamy color, and it's going to go perfectly with the decor that my mother-in-law has chosen for her house because that's who this table is for. I'm going to spare you this part because you guys have seen me do this a million times, so it's already been primed and now I'm just going to spray it. 3 or 4 coats because it's a light color, so, and the sprayer goes a lot thinner than the brush does, so that's what I'm doing. And once it's sprayed, I'm going to top coat it. But before I top coat it, I wanted to do a little accent drawer to match the couch that she picked, and I mixed this custom color. It is an olive color. I'm sure you can find one that matches perfectly, but I needed this specific shade, so I mixed it myself and I painted the inside of this drawer for a little fun, a little pop of color to go with the theme. Was a lot more work than fun up until this point. Once I put the legs on and replace the hardware, then everything starts taking shape and it comes together. So I'm gonna flip it to the side and remove the legs that it currently has. They are just screwed at the bottom with 3 screws. I lost the footage, but I think you guys can picture me using a drill to unscrew these legs, and I will show you the more modern legs that I chose. I marked everything where my holes were gonna go, and I am pre-drilling the holes because you don't want your wood to split when you're putting screws into it, so always pre-drill and then attach my legs. Is to put the handles on. I chose a more modern, again, type of handle, and I'm going to mark the center of my drawer, and I'm going to put some tape underneath the pencil so that I don't damage my paint with pencil. Pencil can be a pain in the butt to remove, especially from something white, so I'm going to mark it on tape, and then I'm going to put tape on the side and evenly space it, even though it's a rail system kind of situation, so it doesn't need to be evenly spaced, but it does need to be level, if that makes sense. difference new hardware and legs make, you guys. You know that I'm always trying to upcycle and use what you have. So I want to show you a couple mood boards that I made for my mother-in-law to help her pick out the rug. She chose the couch from Interior Divine, and then I made the coffee table, and the other chair and the side tables are things that she already has, because you guys know we always try to use what we already have and try to work it into our decor and just kind of work around it. So let me know which rug you guys like better. I'm curious to see what you guys think, and follow me on Instagram so that you guys can know which one she chose. But yeah, here are the rest of the pictures. I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and that's it. Okay, love you, goodbye.
Was that you living in someone else's dreams?